Hello everyone, this is the teaser video for this coming Sunday, August 18th, and the title of my sermon is The Watchman. And what is the purpose of a watchman? Have any of you have ever had a time where you were a watchman or you were responsible for that? Obviously I have time in the military, and I'll share about that in the opening about what my job was as a watchman, or what's the purpose of a watchman. The passage we're going to look at is Ezekiel chapter 33 verses 7 through 9. Ezekiel chapter 33 verses 7 through 9. And it actually starts out by God telling Ezekiel that he's a watchman. Now it's very interesting as you look through the book of Ezekiel. It kind of has two parts. The first 32 chapters are the first part, and then chapter 33 to the finish is kind of a second part, and it's kind of a change in tone or purpose in the prophet Ezekiel's message. But what I want you to look at today is determining the idea of a watchman, and God's challenging Ezekiel as a watchman, and it kind of lays out what he is responsible for as a watchman. Do you think it's proper for us to put ourselves in the same position as Ezekiel? If God is telling Ezekiel this, does it also mean that God's telling us this? Obviously, Ezekiel was an Old Testament prophet. A lot of stuff in the Old Testament, people look at it as history or messages for back then. But this whole idea of a watchman and the accountability of a watchman and the responsibility of a watchman is what God is putting on Ezekiel. And is it okay for us to say that God's putting that same responsibility onto us? So that means you really need to figure out what is a watchman, what God is warning or telling Ezekiel his responsibility is as a watchman, and what's the consequences for Ezekiel if he does his job properly or if he doesn't do his job properly. I think any of us who worked in a job knows if we do our job well, we're rewarded. If we do our job not so well, we tend to not get rewarded, maybe even get fired or let go. So that's what we're going to be looking at. That's what we're going to be talking about, understanding the job of a watchman. And are we just as responsible as being the watchman as God is telling Ezekiel here in chapter 33 verses 7 through 9. I look forward to digging deep in my Sunday school class with this. Everyone is welcome to join us, and we'll talk more about this on Sunday. Until then, take care and be safe.